almost kill a kid.
Why?
He's very arrogant. Why? That's in his. It's like in his DNA. He's just, you become that. You become this evil beast like that thirsts for murder.
You're in Vandersloot confessing to killing Stephanie Flores in his Lima hotel room. Could he have other victims? Who is going through his travel records to find out? Phone line button up. Mark, California, your question or thought.
Hey, Jane, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, well, Joran Vandersloot, would he be better off to confess right now to Natalie Holloway's murder to get a better jail sentence as to get into Aruba than being in Peru? He's too pretty to be in Peru. He wouldn't laugh.
Mark Eiglarsh, is there wheeling and dealing possibly going on?
Anything is possible, but what they've got there is this very unusual system where somehow if he gives a, quote, honest confession, I've been told he can get as low as 6 up to 20 years, but here's my big issue. You've got a big issue, I've got a big issue. They've released all these
You got a lot of issues, Mark.
I do. Trust me, we're on a show to get to them all.
Yeah.
Legal issues in this case are they've released all these videotapes. That's objective evidence that they can test whether he's being honest or not. They put it all out there, so now he knows what they've got. I don't know why they released all these videotapes.
Yeah, but what about the computer? I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that they could go through. He could also do the crime scene walkthrough and mess up and come up with inconsistencies.
They could, but why? Why did they have to put all this out there other than for our own entertainment? I love it, but why put it out there when you've got
I
this
think they're
honest
proud. I think the Peruvian law enforcement is proud that they captured him, and this is a moment to shine in front of the whole world because this guy has skated for so long.
And Jane, there's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence, Jane, that we have not heard yet. You know, her father was saying that there were date rape pills in her car. We've not had toxicology back yet. We haven't had the total autopsy back yet. So, again, we're going to have to take what he says in this reenactment with a grain of salt. But that's why no charges have been brought yet, because they are making him a case. They are making sure that they have an airtight case against him. They make sure they make it stick, Jake.
All right, Gene Casares, briefly, he was smoking pot.
That's what he told authorities, that he was under the influence of marijuana. Now, I was told by an attorney today, it was a public defender, that here in Peru, that drugs can actually, under the influence, can be a mitigating factor to help you, that you could not form the intent as well to commit murder.
All right, here's another big story just in, and it's part of this whole case. Joran is charged here in the United States with extortion. It has just been confirmed his target was Beth Holloway, Natalie's mother. Joran is accused of trying to get $250,000 from Beth in exchange for information about Natalie's death, the location of Natalie's body. Natalie's dad spoke to ABC's Good Morning America, and here's what he had to say.
It's been a stressful time for me, and I know it's been a very trying time for you. Again, thank you for your continued support. And please, again, let's all remind ourselves and keep the Flores family in our hearts and in our prayers. Thank you.
That poor woman, but I have to ask Tim Miller, you're in Aruba, essentially, unintentionally trying to find her daughter's location. She gave Joran $15,000, which financed this trip that resulted in somebody dying. And I'm not blaming her. She was just trying to find out where her daughter was, but the irony is unbelievable. Tim.
Well, it is, and I spent a lot of time on the island. I was actually with Jocelyn Mansour, that head of the area newspaper, and there's also reports, Jane, coming in that with that $15,000, he first went to Colombia. He was in Colombia for 2 days, and I was actually in Jocelyn's office today, and there are 2 girls that are missing from a casino in Colombia. Jocelyn was telling me the story, and while he was talking to me, his phone rang, and Jocelyn told me that the authorities from Colombia are on their way now to Peru also to interrogate Joran Vandersloot on 2 girls that have disappeared in Colombia when he left Aruba. He was in Colombia 2 days, then went to Peru.
This is breaking news. This is breaking news that you're telling us right now that he could be connected to 2 other women's disappearance?
In Colombia from a casino, Jane, and I was there in Jocelyn's office when he got the phone call, which I believe came from Colombia, that the authorities
Or
were
on the
getting
other
on it.
side of the
another Orbitz customer booked the same room for less, so you get a price assurance check for the difference.
I didn't do anything to get it.
It's automatic.
I didn't do anything. Do I get a check?
No.